Okay, so as you can tell by the title of this video, what the title was going to be was I'm excited for Jurassic World Dominion, but if I don't end up having that as the title, that's what it was supposed to be. But um, I am excited for Jurassic World Dominion. I'm actually going to watch it today, and I'm going to go over the 3 reasons why I'm excited for it. But I've heard not the best reviews, so we'll see. But I'm not always the one that goes by the critics. A lot of the times, I think movies that critics think are good, I think are bad, or vice versa. So I'm very open-minded when it comes to the critics. But let's just get into the 3 reasons why I'm excited for this movie. First, the species that are going to be featured in this movie. I'm watching this movie mainly because I like dinosaurs, obviously. And, we're getting 2 of my favorites, Giganotosaurus, Allosaurus. We're also getting Pyroraptor, Atrociraptor, Velociraptor, but if you know, you know. Velociraptor in the Jurassic Park series is really a Deinonychus. He only changed the name to Velociraptor because it sounded cooler. So, you can find some more out about that if you didn't know that, but it's pretty much what it is. And Carnotaurus is going to be in it, Therizinosaurus, obviously T-Rex will be in it. It's just an awesome cast of dinosaurs. And speaking about the cast, the number 2 thing is they've got a really good cast of characters for this final movie. I think this is going to be the final Jurassic World / Park movie. We've got we've got a bunch of characters from the original movie, as well as like Chris Pratt from the newer movies. So I'm excited for that. A really good cast of characters. That's the second reason. And the third reason is we don't have a big hybrid dinosaur. Obviously, all the dinosaurs in the Jurassic series are really hybrids because none are like pure Giganotosaurus or pure T-Rex. They all have some like weird dinosaur DNA or frog DNA or insert whatever DNA, but no dinosaur that's 100%, no dinosaur that is literally just a hybrid that's like a mix of a bunch of dinosaurs. No Indominus, no Scorpius Rex, I think that was in Camp Cretaceous, and no Indoraptor. They're all mainly actual dinosaurs with just DNA plugged in. None are supposed to be weird dinosaurs like the Indominus, where it is 100% a hybrid. And one thing that I'm kind of surprised that they did is actually have feathered dinosaurs in this movie. I think the Therizinosaurus is feathered to some extent, and the Pyroraptor is feathered. Kind of crazy seeing a Jurassic series movie with a dinosaur with feathers. But I think we'll end the video there. I know this is kind of a break in between all the Prehistoric Planet content, but there is still some more Prehistoric Planet content to come. I think I'm going to redo that first episode, and I'll go over why I'm doing that. I'm also going to have the conclusion episode, and then I'm probably going to have an episode ranking. So thank you all so much for watching, and let's hope Jurassic World's good. I'm going to have a reaction video. It's not going to be the style of my Prehistoric Planet one, because I'm not going to take notes during the movie, but we'll see. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'm out. Okay, so yesterday I did watch the movie, like I said in the quick little clip before. The clip before, I planned on making a whole separate video, but I decided that was kind of pointless. I would rather have... So this is after watching the movie. The first part was prior to watching the movie, but now we're just going to go into how the movie actually went. Personally, I actually really liked the movie a lot. The 3 reasons I was excited for actually did live up to the hype. The awesome new species like the Giganotosaurus and the Therizinosaurus were awesome in the movie. The returning cast and the new cast actually meshed really well, and I really liked that. I don't know his actual actor or his real name, but his actor name, the guy who plays Dr. Grant, is one of my favorite characters. The guy that plays Dr. Malcolm, and I always like Chris Pratt's character, Owen. Those are 3 of my favorite of the characters in the movie. And then I also like that there was no weird hybrid dinosaurs. They actually kind of throw a shot at it during the movie. The woman says those whatever's messed up trying to make hybrids that they should just nurture or whatever. And she was talking about the Atrociraptors, which I actually really liked. Like I said, I was glad that they included some of those new raptor species, even though they're all pretty completely inaccurate. Once again, the Velociraptor Deinonychus thing. But it was really cool seeing them, and I liked, like I said, no weird hybrids. Obviously, none of the dinosaurs are what the actual dinosaurs would have been like exactly. And if you want to see a more accurate one, I would definitely recommend watching Prehistoric Planet, which was amazing. But Jurassic World, actually, I liked it. I've heard a lot of bad reviews about it, and I've noticed one thing. Me and Rotten Tomatoes do not agree at all. The last Jurassic World movie, Fallen Kingdom, I thought was the worst, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a higher score than this one. But the audience agreed with me. The audience was almost 80% for this one, and the last one was like somewhere between 30 and 50% for the last one. So I tend to agree way more with the audience and way less with the Rotten Tomatoes people. But this is just one of the instances of this, and me and Rotten Tomatoes just seem to not agree on anything movie-wise. I mean, obviously there's probably going to be at least one time we agree, but for the most part, I'm way more on the audience's side. But, it's not the first time I've disagreed with Rotten Tomatoes, and it's probably not going to be the last. One thing I actually did like about the movie was the biosyn locust thing. It was actually really interesting, considering there's actually something like going on today where the crops are all kind of controlled by one group of people because they're a certain genetic version of some sort of crop going on in the government today. I actually learned about that in my ag class, so that was kind of cool to actually see something kind of like that in the Jurassic World version. And one thing I did like also was how the antagonist died. The main villain, I don't even remember his name. He wasn't that great of a character, but his death, you knew he was going to die because they pretty much set it up perfectly where you could just see it happening. He was going in that thing that required electricity. They were going to turn the electricity off, and then he got stuck in there. And then you were pretty much just trying to figure out what was going to kill him. And then whenever it was the Dilophosaurus, that was awesome because, it was awesome seeing a reappearing species, because obviously I love having all these new species, but I love having the reappearing species. So it was kind of funny that Dilophosaurus killed both the antagonist in the original Jurassic Park and in the newest Jurassic World. So I like seeing the Dilophosaurus do that. And then two of the dinosaurs I really liked were the broken horn Carno and the Allosaurus. I love the scene where the guy's looking at the Carno and then the Allosaurus just grabs him. That was such a funny scene, especially with me being a big Allosaurus fan. And I like that they use some of the newer, less popular species like Dreadnoughtus. Such a cool species, and I was really surprised that they actually used it in this movie instead of just using like Apatosaurus again, which would have been fine, but doing something like this was a really cool idea that I like that they did. And like Moros was really cool to see in the movie. And I like that there were 3 different raptor species, like I said, and it was still really weird but really cool seeing dinosaurs in the Jurassic series have feathers. The Pyroraptor had feathers, and the Therizinosaurus had feathers. Also, I like the Dimetrodon scene, but for a second I thought it was Spinosaurus, and I was so excited because, you saw that big sail in the water, so you thought it was going to be a reappearing Spinosaurus scene. But then I remembered that there was a bunch of Dimetrodon stuff as far as toys stuff, so I was like, it's probably going to be Dimetrodon, but I would love it if it was Spinosaurus. And then, sure enough, it ended up being Dimetrodon, which was cool, seeing a non-dinosaur other than a pterosaur, like a prehistoric animal that didn't actually live with the dinosaurs. And there was one other prehistoric animal that didn't live with the dinosaurs, or maybe it did. I think it was Lystrosaurus. I'm not a big expert on Lystrosaurus, but it was either early Triassic or before the dinosaurs, and I think it was in the movie. Might be wrong about that, but it was really cool seeing something like that. And Dimetrodon, 2 non-dinosaurs that lived actually prior to the dinosaurs, if I'm right about Lystrosaurus. Then I love the final fight. A territorial clash between apex predators. Personally, I'm a huge Giga fan. Giganotosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs. So, since I knew this was supposed to be the last Jurassic series movies, it makes a ton of sense that, they would have a cool new top predator fight T-Rex and have T-Rex win, which I was kind of expecting. But, I was glad that Giga definitely held its ground and really should have won the fight. So it made sense that they wanted to have, T-Rex end on top after having the one die to a Spino in Jurassic Park 3, and so many fans got mad about it. But, the Giga really could have easily won. He took the deer from the Rex in the first one. He took the... then, when they first started fighting at the end scene, he had T-Rex completely knocked out, and until T-Rex returned from consciousness, he had him knocked out, and then it required the T-Rex and the Therizinosaurus both to really kill the Giga. So pretty much what happened is, after the T-Rex gets knocked out, the Giga starts fighting the Therizinosaurus, and then the T-Rex wakes up, and then it
the Giga's like this. I'll try to show this as accurate as I can. But the Giga is like right here, and the Therizinosaurus is right here, and the T-Rex is right here. And the Giga is like kind of just standing here in the middle, and the Therizinosaur takes one swipe at it, and the Giga has to turn to it, and then the T-Rex comes and grabs it by the neck, which probably would have killed it because the T-Rex's bite force is so strong, and then it goes right into the Therizinosaur's claws and impales it and kills it. So Giga could have won, but they had to have Rexy end up on top, and I'm not super mad about it, but I'm glad that they showed Giga was a pure monster of a dinosaur. And I'm glad that they used Giganotosaurus instead of just a stupid hybrid. They could have so easily just used Giganotosaurus instead of Indominus Rex in the last movie. Or not the last movie, the one before that. So I was glad that they actually used Giga, because Giga would have worked so well for the Indominus, in my opinion. But, I'm glad that they finally fixed that mistake. And I actually did like the ending where it showed the dinosaurs coexisting with modern animals. Obviously, it wouldn't happen exactly like that because they wouldn't just exactly coexist like the elephants and the Inoceratops, just, being there together. But they probably would, just interact with each other every now and then, and they probably would herd. I mean, wildebeest and zebra are unrelated species, and they do it, so, it's to say dinosaurs and animals want it, but I don't know. And all in all, I thought the movie was really good. Probably the best in the Jurassic World series. I don't know if it's better than any of the Jurassic Park series, but in my opinion, it's easily the best of the 3 Jurassic World series. Out of the Jurassic World series, I would rank this number 1, Fallen Kingdom 3rd, and the original Jurassic World 2nd. And then you probably put all 3 of the Jurassic Park movies ahead of this one, in my opinion. But this one I thought was actually really good. And I have heard some bad reviews about it. I heard that there was so much dinosaur action that was kind of boring. And maybe as far as like how movies are supposed to go, that might have been, because I really loved the Godzilla King of Monsters movie because it had so much monster action, and a bunch of people didn't like that movie. But I love some good dinosaur or monster action, so I actually really like the movie. And for the very end here, I hope this isn't the end for the Jurassic Park / World series, but if it is, I think they had a great ending, Having T-Rex end on top, having the cast they had of amazing characters all together, the old and the new. And, just considering how much money Universal's made, I hope it's enough to keep the Jurassic series going. So, I think that's it. So, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, because I've got a ton of awesome dinosaur videos on the channel. I don't know how much Jurassic Park / Jurassic World content I'm going to really do on this channel, but it'll definitely be sprinkled in here and there. But this is mainly just dinosaur other content, but there will be some sprinkled Jurassic World in. So, but if you all really, really like this video, maybe we'll do more Jurassic World, because I do like the series. It's just, I kind of have mixed feelings about it, and we'll actually get into that into a future video. So thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I'm out. Okay, we're actually not out. I forgot to do the featured figures section. So for the first half of this video, the 2 figures featured were these 2. And I might have actually done this part in the last for these 2 figures, but I definitely didn't do it for these 3, so we're just going to do it in this video, or in this clip. So this is the Safari Limited Carnegie Collection Giganotosaurus. This is one that I really, really love. You could find it on eBay recently for like, I want to say, I remembered it was listed for like only $70 by one lister at one point, but it was at like $30 or $40 at one point, but those ones might have sold. But this is such an awesome figure. If you don't have it in the collection, I would definitely recommend hunting it down. One thing I don't know about this figure though, I think it might have to stand on its tail, but you can see where it could almost stand without. So maybe it was supposed to stand like this, and I'm not for sure, but mine stood like this for a while. But it almost doesn't look like it's supposed to stand like that because the feet, I don't know. But I love this figure. It's one of my favorite figures in my collection. And then this is the Jurassic Park Allosaurus. This was one of the last Jurassic Park series figures. This was made like just randomly, like when no movie was going on. I got this at Toys R Us. Or actually I got it for Easter, but I think it was from Toys R Us. But I know they did sell these at Toys R Us. This figure and the Pachyrhinosaurus were the 2 big ones. And there were some smaller ones, like little battle packs. But this was one of the last Jurassic Park series figures before Jurassic World came.
but it didn't really go to a certain movie or anything. But it is an Allosaurus, so you can find that one on eBay. It's not a very cheap figure, though. It's actually a pretty expensive figure, but you can definitely find that one on eBay. And then these three are all Skletch figures, or Schlag. They were all from the smaller line series. Some of these came in 2-packs, and you can probably buy them individually, but I remembered buying them in 2-packs. They're not the mini figures, but they're one of the smaller sets Skletch made. And this is a Therizinosaurus. This is a T-Rex. It's actually a really awesome T-Rex, I think. I love the color scheme on it. And then this is a Giganotosaurus. I like it as well. I'm not crazy about the color scheme, and I don't love how its arms are, but it's not a horrible figure by any means. Definitely prefer this one to this one, though. But not a bad figure. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'm out. For real this time.